Let's start with the doctor. Alright. Who's ready to check this out? Eh? Because I'm very curious to see how this is gonna go. Alright, let's see what we got for killers.
Welcome to Watchmojo, and today we're taking a look at the top 10 Dead by Daylight killers.
Yeah? You are? Showing a montage of... yeah. Some small stuff.
For this list, we're looking at the deadliest, dastardly, and devious killers from the online multiplayer phenomenon, Dead by Daylight. And hey, I am obsessed with Dead by Daylight, if you can't tell already, so follow me on Twitter at GhostWriterTyler.
Okay, if he's obsessed with DVD, he better know which killers should be at the top and bottom. He better know.
Tell me what your favorite killer is, or if I was just flat out wrong. Number 10, the Hillbilly.
Okay, honestly, Hillbilly, you can put him anywhere, technically. Like, anywhere
If you
between.
really want to scare the pants off of the survivors, you might take a liking to Max Thompson Jr., aka the Hillbilly.
Okay, so,
This horribly disfigured dude comes equipped with a cattle hammer to smack survivors upside the head with, but the real joy comes from his secondary weapon, the chainsaw. Hold the power button to
He didn't even
rev
get the
it
down
like a
right there,
madman,
too.
and you'll break into a sprint, instantly putting any survivor in your path into a dying state. However, you can't spam this whenever you please. You will have to gauge its overheating mechanic in addition to grasping the difficult steering.
Yeah. Nowadays, now you do. Back then you didn't though. You didn't have to back then. But now you do.
We know that Leatherface has similar abilities and mechanics, but we'll take the overheat hindrance over Leatherface's painstakingly long tantrums. Seriously, man, get a grip.
What do you mean? Dude, okay, this guy is better overall now. Like, what do you mean? You'd rather have a very hard controlled killer that really, yeah, Billy is very hard to use nowadays. Whereas this guy, you just whip that thing out and just swing it. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Bubba's way better.
Number 9, the Huntress.
Okay, yeah. By the way, this guy, he didn't...
The grip.
When he says tantrum, he doesn't even use the charges.
Number 9.
I think he's only just starting to play DVD. Yeah.
What about a killer with a little more range and a little
Because you
more
can even see
music
with the
behind
perks
her
too
charm?
that he's
Few
just
of Dead by
starting
Daylight's
the
killers
game.
require refilling ammunition, but of the ones that do, we prefer the Huntress. Our delirious and deranged Anna brings hatchets into the fray, and she can throw them at survivors from a moderate distance. Just try not to waste every hatchet on one survivor, or else you'll have to stop and find a locker and restock. As her name implies, the Huntress is well versed when chasing survivors, able to equip perks that grant her buffs for simply chasing and reveal the locations of other players. She's very much a character you should be afraid of.
Okay, perk wise, no. No. Those things are really useful in the basement. That's it. The rest, other than that, they're useless. And majority of the times, you don't really see survivors going to the basement when you use these perks anyway. Yeah.
Number 8, the Pig.
I don't think she deserves to be up this high, but okay. Or
Whereas
I mean, well, it's
most
low on the
killers
list,
can
but yeah.
pressure survivors into either repairing faster or taking turns playing bait, the Pig forces an extra obstacle into the game that'll make any survivor sweat. When a survivor is in a dying state,
really.
the Pig can place a reverse bear trap onto their head. Repaired generators will activate this trap, and from there the survivor has a limited amount of time to find a key in one of the many jigsaw boxes. Should they try to escape the trial with a trap still attached, the trap will go off. Basically, the Pig is constantly forcing survivors to readjust their priorities, and this mechanic alone will make you feel like the most devious player. That is, until you run out of reverse bear traps. Then it's just time for sacrificing.
Yeah, trap only goes off if a gen popped with when there's a bear trap on their head. Only when it's active. When it's not active, it's not gonna go off. You can just leave with it. So yeah, no. You can leave with a bear trap on your head if it's not activated. If it's not activated, you can leave, even in the hatch too. Activated or not, you can leave through it. Hey Carly, what am I doing? We're reacting to Watchmojo's top 10 killers. Because I'm curious on what they say, which killers they have. I'm getting those words when you get ads. Yeah, we're reacting to their killers, who and what they place in their top 10. We've had Hillbilly, Huntress, and Amanda right there. Now it looks like we have Pyramid Head.
Number 7, the Executioner, aka Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head.
Honestly, it's just cool that Pyramid Head has joined a game featuring several horror movie icons. It's even better that his playstyle is easy to understand, yet a tad tricky to perfect. With the Great Knife, Pyramid Head can unleash a lethal trail of metal, wire, and bone, inflicting the torment effect on those hit. While under this effect, survivors can be sent to the Cage of Atonement, which can ignore any hook-related perks that survivors may have equipped. It pretty much acts like an automatic hook without having to risk a survivor possibly escaping your grasp. Simply put, Pyramid Head is an aggressive defender when it comes to keeping survivors in the sacrificing process. Lord knows my struggles with the guy.
Yeah.
Number 6, the Nurse.
Nurse. That's... Yeah, she should be up a few more slots. I don't think she should be 6th, but okay.
The Nurse can be an incredibly fun killer to play as, and it's all because of her unique blink ability. Not only are Nurse players able to cover a good amount of ground with this ability, but it also opens an opportunity to ambush survivors and land a hit before they can flee. However, this impressive mobility does come at a price. Shortly after the blink, the Nurse will be hit with a brief moment of fatigue, leaving her unable to attack and drastically slowing her speed. With this kind of hindrance and having to guesstimate where you'll appear, the Nurse requires an extensive amount of time to master. When you get the hang of it, she is so satisfying to play as.
Satisfying and also the best killer in the game, but also the #1 killer in the game. for a killer that can take down any team.
Number 5, the Nemesis.
Interesting.
You want to feel
honestly,
like a
I think
ruthless,
Nemesis is in a
cold,
decent spot for a top 10.
killing
I think he would be a
or maybe you just want everything to feel more like Resident Evil.
Makes more sense.
Then Nemesis is the perfect candidate for you. The big brute comes with a tentacle whip that can smack survivors to apply the hindered effect, decreasing their movement speed. On top of that, every smack increases its power,
doesn't decrease their speed.
eventually letting you break pallets and doors with it.
Does
Of
it?
course,
No.
survivors don't have only Nemesis
I don't think
to
it
worry
does.
about, as the monstrosity can have zombies spawn on the map to either attack survivors and alert their
Rank him
location,
above Pyramid
or
Head,
be
but
off
he's
to
up there,
increase
you
the
think?
Tentacle Whip's power. Needless to say,
Yeah, he's
Nemesis is a pain train with no brakes.
yeah, Pyramid
and
Head
my
definitely
God,
probably should be
I
up
have been
because
playing as him almost exclusively since the day he dropped. You better watch out for me.
When he has only 2 hooks. No, I'm pretty sure you look at the hang of him
Number
soon enough.
4, the Oni.
Okay, oh, he's a fair spot.
If brutality is your thing, then you might be more of an Oni player. This ancient samurai warrior comes with a lot of
Nemesis.
rage, and it shows in his abilities. When survivors are struck with his Yamaoka blade, they drop blood orbs that the Oni can absorb in order to fill up his power gauge. Once filled, the Oni will be able to access a Blood Fury mode that grants him 2 additional abilities. Demon Dash lets him cover a ton of distance, while Demon Strikes will put survivors into a dying state with a single hit. Overall, the Oni
If you
has
hold
this
you gotta
fun
hold the
and
attack for
satisfying
that.
balance between being patient and rushing down survivors. Number 3, the Shape, aka Michael Myers.
Okay. 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 Yes, Michael is good in certain scenarios, but his setup time is awful, and also he should not be above the other killers that we've had so far, except maybe Amanda. Like, I think that's it. That's really, actually, no, he'd be the bottom. He definitely would be the bottom. Like, yeah, Myers can be deadly in tier 3, but that's only for a limited amount of time. And after, but even then, he's still an M1 killer. He's still just a normal killer. He's got nothing else. He's got a faster vault speed, but that's it. Other than that, he's just a normal killer. That's it. I'm curious to see what he has to say about him. They're like, oh, it feels like Michael Myers. It's like, okay.
Speaking
yeah.
of patience, our man made of pure evil, Michael Myers, is all about waiting. Before pouncing on prey, Michael can use his stalking abilities to buff his powers, particularly his lunge
I
attacks,
like how they
vaulting,
took
and
forever
movement.
for
However,
them to see him.
those who play as the Shape will have to prioritize which survivors to sacrifice, as this killer's personal perks all revolve around the obsession. These perks can decrease your cooldowns, increase your movement speed, or even make penalties more severe in skill checks. Yeah, he's just as terrifying as he is in the Halloween films. He is not someone you want to mess around with. Number 2, the Doctor.
The Doctor, really? Okay. Granted, yes, he'd be over Myers, but yeah, what? These top killers are just the weird ones now. Like, if I swear he's gonna put Trapper at number 1. He's gonna do Trapper for number 1. I swear to God, he's gonna do it. I'll mute this for Carly though, because she don't like doctors laugh.
The killers we've listed so far are twisted in their own ways, whether it be focusing on the obsession solely or imposing more obstacles on the survivors. When it comes to the Doctor, on the other hand, only truly sadistic players will play as him. Old Herman Carter can electrocute survivors and inflict the madness effect, which causes survivors to reveal their location through screaming and experience hallucinations of the Doctor. The only way survivors will be able to cure themselves is by completing the snap out of it skill check, but this can be excruciatingly difficult when inflicted with tier 3 madness, the Doctor. Fun for the whole family.
I think he's a Doctor main. I'm pretty sure this guy's a Doctor main, because of all the killers he's had with the hook counters, he's gotten the most with him. Okay, no more Doctor. He's
Before we
gone.
reveal Dead by Daylight's most
Ghostface?
horrifying
Okay.
and threatening killer, here are a few honorable mentions. Ghostface. Best for those who can pull sneaky tactics.
Hit and run Ghostface. Hit and run Ghostface. That's the way you do that.
The Nightmare, aka Freddy Krueger. A challenge to learn given how drastically different his mechanics are.
Okay, sure.
The Trapper. Best
Okay,
for
Trapper's not
beginners,
number 1.
tricky to master.
I was about to say, if Trapper was number 1, I would have been like, what?
The Demogorgon. We gush
Aw.
every time that theme song plays during a chase.
In Stranger Things.
Before
Has
we
to be
continue,
Spirit then.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel and channel videos.
I
or
don't know.
all of them. If you're not on your
Hold on,
phone,
hold on. Let's
make
take
sure
a
to go
guess.
into your settings and switch on notifications.
Let's take a guess real quick. Who do y'all think is going to be? I'm going to predict it's going to be... who am I going to say it's going to be? I'm going to say he might say Hellraisers. He might say Pinhead. He generally might say Pinhead, maybe. Spirit or Hag. Could be one of those two. I don't know. I'm thinking he might say Pinhead. Even though he just came out. Actually, I don't know. He's on PS4. So maybe not Pinhead. I don't think he's going to have to try him. If he doesn't have the PC version anyway. Wraith, maybe? Possibly? I don't know. Watch, he's gonna put Clown. Actually, he might put Deathslinger. I think Deathslinger, maybe. Let's see.
Number 1.
Oh, there you go,
the
henchman.
Spirit.
Spirit. It's the spirit.
Another name for the Spirit is Ultimate Ghost Simulator. Okay, not really, but this undead woman makes being spooky a ton of fun. With her phase walk power, Rin Yamaoka can turn invisible and quickly traverse to another part of the map. Though she loses all sight of survivors in this state, she can still see scratch marks clearly, making it easier to ambush players before they realize you're there. Phase walking will also let the Spirit leave behind a husk that can emit its own terror radius, as well as suppress the Spirit's audio cues. When it comes to maintaining horror in a multiplayer game, it's always a scary time when the Spirit is hunting you down.
Okay, that is some. This is.
Thanks for watching.
That is a weird tier list. Okay, so hold on. Let's see what he had again. Let's go chronological order. So we had Billy. We had Huntress. What else do we have? Huntress, Amanda, Pyramid. Wait, who's the next one? Nurse. Okay. How do you say he was ranking these again? I'm actually kind of curious. How do you say he was ranking these?
Devious killers from the online. This list, we're looking at the deadliest, dastardly, and devious killers from the online multiplayer phenomenon.
So deadliest. Okay, so Billy, I think that's a fair spot. Huntress could be up a couple, maybe like maybe 8 or 7. I don't know. Amanda, no, definitely not. Pyramid, I think it's a fine spot for him. Nurse should be at the top, easily. Easily, she should be at the top. Nemesis, no, he shouldn't be here. Who else? Oni. You know, actually, I think that's a fair spot for Oni. Number 4, I think that's a fair spot. That's a fair spot for him. Okay, Mike. This is the funniest one to me. Michael Myers should not be up here. He should not be up here. He can't be up here. He's literally like one of the top 3 worst killers in the game, easily. Like he can't be up here. Like, sure, he's scary, and he can be deadly, but majority of the time, yeah, it's just he's just a Miles 1. He's got nothing special for him. He's just a Miles 1 killer. That's it. Right, this list isn't a reliable source for true rankings. Nah. So, fishing on this list. And I know you are, henchman. I know you enjoy. I know you'd have Myers on the top. That's harsh. Yeah. Yeah, it's harsh, but he really shouldn't be up on the top 3. Who do you have? Who was number 2? It was Doctor. Okay, Doctor's definitely not number 2. Nah. I don't. Nah, he's not even top 10. Not even close. Spirit makes sense. Spirit can number 1 or 2. One or the other, don't matter. But definitely Nurse should be up there. He'll come for me next. Hey, he can come if he wants, you know. Let's come get me, he can. Freddy and honorable mentions. That's a weird one. I don't think Trapper should be there either, but okay, there's a couple places I agree with, and then the rest are like a WTF. But other than that, it's like whatever. It's not as bad as a list as I was thinking, but because after seeing their zombie top 10 list in for Call of Duty Zombies, their gaming stuff can be kind of bad. That's for sure.